Hello and welcome, everyone. I am Madeline Kuhn. You might know me as Maddie. I am a homemade coach and nutritionist, and I'm joined here today by Greta. She is one of our longtime members, joined back in April of 2021. And we'll be doing a little testimonial interview with her today. Thank you so much for joining us, Greta.
Thank you for having me. I'm looking
Yeah.
forward to our talk.
Yeah, my goodness, me too. So I would love to start this conversation by asking you, what was your health and weight before starting Homemade Method?
Okay, so when I came into Homemade Method, I was also in the process of receiving some serious health care for breast cancer. So that sticks in my mind as the most pivotal health issue I'd ever had, other than being overweight. And so when I joined Homemade, I was still getting treated and getting oncological care. And now, 10 years later, from the first time I was diagnosed, I am cancer-free and out to party. Yes. And
Yes.
yes. So, but my other health issues, even the being overweight had to have had some impact on my issue with breast cancer, I do believe, but they never said definitely. So I've been overweight for, oh, probably the last 20 years. But before that, I was athletic and I didn't have a problem. But as I got older, I got heavier and more tired and didn't exercise and ate all the wrong places in the car
Yeah.
between all my jobs and all of that. So that's where I was at. And I'm married to someone who I hate because he is unable to be fat. He eats normally and he's skinny.
Yes. Oh my
Yes,
God. I
I
think a
really
lot
hate
of
him.
ladies can relate to that in the
Yeah.
program.
Hate him and love him. And he eats nonstop, yes. So, but he's very healthy. He's athletic, and now I'm athletic now that I can move without hurting myself. So,
Yeah.
um, yes. So that's kind of the biggest problem I had was with the breast cancer, with being heavy and too heavy to exercise comfortably or safely.
Yeah.
Worried about falling and things like that, tripping because of balance. So
Hmm.
those are no longer issues, but uh, yeah, so that's kind of where I was, and getting
That's a,
all kinds of warnings from my doctors.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, I'm sure. Well, it's so scary I'm so grateful that you are now cancer free, but what a scary life event to happen. I think that
Yes.
some of the other ladies in the program or anyone, right, that has gone through that is it's a big wake up call for your health in general to
Yes.
just be like, okay, the things I can control, I am now going to put time and energy into because this, like cancer's not really it's not really in your control. There's so many different factors. So
Yes.
I'm so grateful that you found us. I know that you have been a long time instrumental music teacher. You are an educator. It's a hefty job. Oh, you get stretched thin, and so your eating habits can be really challenging to maintain, right? It's hard to create eating healthy eating habits when you are constantly so busy and your work is nonstop and like probably spills out of your working hours, right? You're
Oh,
taking
yeah.
care of kids and you're not just a teacher, you are like an ear for so much more than just their music. And so what other health issues were you facing besides breast cancer during this time and
Well,
prior to joining?
yes. Even with my job, mobility was just a concern. I was aware that
Hmm.
I would lose my balance sometimes, just from my weight
Yeah.
or going up the stairs and not picking my feet up and those kind of things. So I was self-conscious about, moving safely.
Yeah,
So
definitely.
yeah, and the worst habit I developed among many was eating in the car, which I never do now. I refused. I only drink water in the car
Yeah,
because eating
that's
in the
great.
car, you just eat.
Yeah, that's
And
hard. It's hard to listen to your body when you're doing that.
yes, yes, when you're
Yeah.
driving, yes.
Yeah, definitely. What was your blood pressure and blood sugars like back in this during this time?
Probably borderline high enough. I can't remember the numbers now without looking
Oh,
back
that's
at my
okay.
health records, but
That's fine.
um, not to a point where I ever felt a reaction to my blood pressure, but every time I did go in for a medical exam, they'd say, "Oh, your pressure's high," and then they'd always say, "But you drove here," and everyone's pressure goes up when they drive. So then I didn't worry, and then
Yeah.
when it went down uh, appreciably, and I can't think of a good number now that's below any uh, flashing lights, but it was just
Hmm.
normal. Um,
Yeah.
my doctor danced with me in the office. She was
Yes.
so excited. She
Oh,
and she couldn't believe how I looked because I had also
yes.
been with the program a year. And yeah, it was a great moment.
I love that. Dancing with your doctor in the office. How
Yeah.
often are you able to do that? Especially after dealing with so many health issues, right?
Yes.
That's such a beautiful moment to be able to enjoy, to experience, right?
Yes.
We'll get into that. You worked really
Yes.
hard to get to there. So I'm grateful you were able to have that.
Yes.
Um, so I know you're dealing with high blood pressure, you're dealing with high A1C,
Yes.
you're feeling like just like lack of mobility, lack
Yes.
of balance, just due to being overweight. You're probably, I mean, all those things generally equal like low energy levels.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Yeah, like, were you feeling that?
Definitely, but I couldn't give in to it, mainly
Yeah.
because we were also caring for our elder parents, my husband and I. So there were other things, not in our house, but I
Oh,
mean,
yeah.
frequently
So
had to
you're a
go away.
caretaker too. Yeah, you don't
Yeah.
have time and space for that business of being
Yes.
tired. You're just go, go, go.
Yes.
Boy, yeah. I think a lot of people can relate to that card of being the caretaker and just being
Yes.
like, I do not have any time to be tired. I just
Yes.
have to like I'm bouncing from taking care of someone who's sicker than me to
Yeah.
taking care of either my job or my family, whatever it is. And that's usually when your own health just keeps on getting knocked down on the priority scale. And
Yes.
soon it's all the way at the bottom, right?
Well, not only that, I would eat sweet things because it made me happy. So I do eat
Yes.
sweets now, but they're the healthy sweets, but back then it would be, what's chocolate? Just, get me some chocolate.
Anything.
Yeah.
Yes. And so
So
you're managing some of like the emotional uh whatever you're
attachment.
emotionally eating. Yeah, you're dealing with some of these like highly stressful situations by eating your feelings. And I know
Yes.
that so many people can relate to that. It's
Yes.
hard. It's really hard, especially when um you don't have any sort of foundation for healthy eating. It's just like winging it. And with that, on that note, I'd love to chat with you about what did you try before you joined us? Because I know this is
Oh, well, I hate to say the word try because I wasn't very dedicated, but
that's okay.
I would try things like salads in
Yeah.
a salad meal, with some maybe leftover
Hmm.
meat in it. Uh,
Hmm.
but I used dressings that weren't healthy,
Yeah.
so, or I would eat a lot of bread with it. Yeah, bread. Yeah. Salad and bread,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So those were the kinds of alternatives I took. And again, everyone else in my house doesn't have weight problems.
Mm,
They could eat pretty much anything, and they were so active, it didn't show up on them as it did on me.
yeah.
So um, that was the problem. I stopped eating all of the fattening foods like ice cream or
Hmm.
sugar yogurt, before
Hmm.
I learned about homemade. And then when I got in homemade, that's when I really got an education,
Yeah.
a
Okay.
real
Well,
education.
let's talk about that a little bit. What what do you feel like are some of the key things you've learned in the program?
One is to use my brain. And if I'm awake, use my
I love
mind.
you. Yeah. Eat
So
mindfully. Yeah.
yes, yes. And I know about mindfulness because as musicians, that's part of our demeanor is
Yes.
mindfulness with every note we play and so on. So this has helped a lot with listening to Anna and all of the great counseling that we get through the program, and even other members, just hearing how people
Mm,
are mindful.
yeah.
There's one member whose name I think is Nina, and every time I look at her pictures, they look like art.
Hmm.
They look
Nina Baker,
Yeah,
yes.
they look too beautiful to even eat. And
Mm,
so I would have never looked at food and decided if it was beautiful or not before because it was in my mouth before I even knew what I was eating.
Yes. I love
So
that. So you're
yeah,
taking this like thread that you've been able to pull from your music background and you've been
yes,
able to put it into your healthy eating habits, which is mindfulness, slowing
yes,
down. It's taking a moment, it's making something like beautiful, what you're creating, have it
hmm,
be creative even, and that is a way to connect with your food to create a healthy eating habit. I
yeah,
love that. I love that that's one of your biggest takeaways. That's so major. One of the things we really talk about in the program um, is like treating yourself, like feed yourself like you're a queen, like sit
yes,
down and like really savor it. Enjoy this meal. Like you're absolutely worthy of like a beautiful, nourishing meal. So like take the time that you can to put into that because you get back tenfold whatever you put in, right?
yes.
So I love
I
that
also
so
learned
much.
to not have other things going on, like no television is on.
Oh yes, absolutely. That's
And
one.
yeah, it really helps. Music, I don't mind if music's on, but
Yeah.
TV, no news, nothing, just food
Yes.
and bass.
Yes, yes. Well, I think yeah, music is so different. It's something that allows you to actually, I feel like, connect more to what is
Hmm.
around you rather than TV is just coming at you
External,
and
yeah,
there's no like exchange. Whereas with
yes.
music, it makes you feel something. It's, we could dive into that whole topic, but
Oh, yes, absolutely.
we're gonna stay on homemade method, I promise. Well, let's talk about the amazing results you've got in the program. I would love for you to just talk a little bit about how much weight you've lost, what your blood sugars, blood pressure are at, and like how you're feeling.
Yeah, like I say, I since I started, I think I've lost um 88 pounds and pretty much kept it off, except every now and then I go up a little bit and then I just realize what are you doing? And I change my habits and it goes back down. Um, then as I say, the sugars have stopped being a problem. They're just not a problem anymore. I haven't had a doctor even say anything to me about my blood sugar in almost 2 years.
That's incredible. Just
Except that it's
so,
good. Yeah, yeah.
yes. So, just for everyone for reference point, Greta's A1C was at a 7
Hmm.
and her fasting blood sugars were at 123. And, now 2 years, like it's been 2 years where you've gotten both of those numbers into normal range and it's no
Yeah,
longer even a discussion with your doctor. They
right.
check it, they don't have to mention it because it's not an issue.
Yeah, it's
That's
not.
major. It's
Yeah.
so wonderful. And you're not on any medications or anything for that, just
No.
for everyone to, yeah, to
Yeah.
know. I'm so
So
proud
glad.
of you. That's so, and 88 pounds lost. That is
Yeah.
a whole nother like little human that's gone.
Yeah. And
It,
it's amazing.
you look amazing.
Oh, thank you. Well, one of the
Yeah,
things, if I can interject here, um,
absolutely.
one of the things was I had breathing issues and being a woodwind player, that was devastating, but I was having um
Yeah.
uh like allergic type breathing, where in the springtime, all the stuff in the air just really made me
Mm,
sneeze and cough and have trouble breathing. And they said even that was related to my weight.
yeah,
And
absolutely.
they were getting ready to do more checking. And then in that year that I started with homemade, I lost so much weight. And they said, well, you don't need these meds anymore. Just in one visit, they said, you don't need these anymore. I'm hearing your lungs. You don't need these anymore.
That's amazing. And
Yeah.
that's, I mean, that is life-changing for anyone, but like
Yeah.
especially for you whose life is built around like you make music with
With wind.
yeah, with wind, exactly. With the wind you produce. So it's so
Mhm.
important to, I'm sure you're like mind, body, and soul that happened.
Yes. Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Oh my
And
gosh, that's
yeah, I'm really
incredible.
grateful. Really grateful.
Yeah, I'm so grateful. You put in the time and effort to this. I also know that like obviously you lose 88 pounds, like none of your clothes fit anymore. You dropped
Yeah.
dress sizes, you
Yeah.
dropped pant sizes. Um, you also like probably regained a lot of energy.
Yes. Because
Yeah.
um if I can add this here,
Yeah.
both my husband and I walk every day. Well, he runs, I walk, and not with him because he's 6'5" and I'm like 5'7" or so. So, but when I do my walk, it's 3 miles, and I don't pace myself. I just walk out to a trail, and I wear good shoes, and I think that has helped me sustain my energy, and it's probably has helped me keep the weight from getting higher than it got when I noticed I picked up a few more pounds over the holidays.
Yeah.
So uh, I walk every morning, and I walked today, and it was below freezing, and I'm
Whew.
out there walking. Yeah,
Wow,
and
girl, that's amazing. How do your
I forgot
joints
your,
feel?
huh?
How do your joints feel when you're out walking?
Um, they don't bother me so much. I have my left knee has an issue, but we're
Mm,
gonna get that checked. But it's
yeah.
not debilitating. And the main thing was to make sure my feet didn't hurt, because if you wear
Yes.
bad shoes, and so that's a long story. But so I'm
Yeah.
wearing really good shoes,
Good.
yeah, to walk in, and I make sure I have good socks, and I
I
stretch
love
before
it.
I go. Yeah,
Yes. Oh my God, this
yeah,
is amazing. And for
yeah,
anyone that is like, "Oh, I couldn't walk 3 miles a day. It's doesn't happen overnight. And like
right.
losing 88 pounds is a huge help, but also just like the consistency to work up to it, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
So, you can't run a marathon without training for it. So
right.
working up to things is so important. And I just love that you've had this consistency. It didn't happen overnight. It
No,
happened over years, right? We're in
yeah,
2024, January 2024, and you joined in April of 2021. So, right, it's been a couple
yeah.
years. You've been spending time and energy here. So let's talk a little bit about how you got your results. I would
Mm.
love to hear just like what are you doing? Because people are going to want to know too. They're like, what is she doing? I
Well,
want to lose weight.
I use the recipes that I download all the time, and I have
Yeah.
certain types of cooking that I do. An example would be I use the oven a lot, roasting all the veggies that I want, and then I freeze
Yes.
them. And then sometimes I just eat them as the roasted vegetable. Sometimes I put them in my blender and add some chicken broth, and it's soup.
I
And
love it.
it gave me so many alternatives.
Yes.
It's also a good way to not go buy, I don't buy McDonald's, but I'm saying go out and buy fast food.
Yeah,
You know,
absolutely. Because you have something prepped on hand.
yeah, and it's tasty and it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And
Oh.
we have not eaten out. Well, we did have to eat out one time when our kids came to visit, but we don't eat out because we don't like the taste of the food when we eat out. And we have
Yes.
nice restaurants,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
I like how we season our foods at home, and
Mm-hmm.
very pleased with it. And the only reason I would go to a restaurant now is if you said, "Hey, let's meet up somewhere."
Yes. Oh my
But
gosh.
yeah,
Dinner
I
with
don't
Greta.
get
I would
food.
love that. Um, yeah, no, it's so real how your palate changes just
Yes,
tremendously once you start to cut out refined foods and
yes,
really
yes.
cut down on the processed sugar. It's just like food pops, like in like whole
Mhm.
natural foods, the flavors just pop and the sweet and the savory, the natural flavors, the bitter, the sour, the umami flavors that come from things like
Yeah,
those all really start to sing. And just it provides you with a whole different understanding of like what tastes good because there's nothing dulling your senses, which is what happens
right.
with processed food. So I love that. You're cooking all your meals at home.
Yeah.
Um, and you're just that's what you're doing. What about mindset? How has your mindset shifted?
Oh, yeah. How can I say this? I think it matters to eat at a planned time most of the time, unless there's a important reason that you couldn't eat. So I don't eat randomly. I
Yeah,
eat breakfast with which is a smoothie. We have a smoothie every morning that's got beets and kale and a
love
little
it.
pineapple and a little honey in it. I don't own any sugar in my house. There is no sugar in my house
Wow.
because I don't drink
Yeah,
coffee, and anyone that comes
yeah.
and wants it, they better bring their own sugar because I don't have it, or use my honey. And
Yes.
yeah, so that's kind of what it's like. And when we shop, there's some things we look for in the big stores, like Costco, where you can get bargains, but I can't deal with their Whole Foods. So I buy my Whole Foods at my favorite grocery store, which is near my house.
I
And
love it.
every time I walk into the produce department, the guys come over and talk to me. They go, "Hey, come here, look at this and try this." And
Oh,
yeah, we have a little party when we get in there, because
that's so
they know.
sweet. Yeah,
Yeah, they
they
try
know
to live
that.
like, yeah,
Yeah, your food, like the whole natural produce, the ingredients that they're so pumped to like provide you, or something
right,
that you're
yes.
equally excited to explore and in your kitchen. That's so amazing. I love that. I
And
feel
I,
like I
I
could
also,
go ahead.
I also had a funny thing happen last night. I made some turkey burgers, ground
Cool.
turkey. Well, the funny thing was, I didn't mention it to my husband that it was turkey, so um, this afternoon when he was getting lunch, he said, "I think I'll have one of those hamburgers for lunch." I didn't even tell him it was turkey.
You're like, mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm glad you like it. But I seasoned
Yeah.
it like a hamburger, so
Yes. I
it was
love
so
that. That's
funny.
great. That's so great.
Yeah, so
What he doesn't know won't hurt him.
that's right. And it's all because of homemade. Wouldn't have thought of that recipe for the a turkey burger. I don't even
Yeah.
like turkey. Yeah. Roast turkey I don't eat, but
Yeah, no, I'm not a turkey fan either, but
yeah,
that meal is delicious. Chef Lizzie is an absolute whiz in the
yes,
kitchen. That's why.
amazing.
Just
She's amazing.
incredible. I know. Um, well, I love that so much. You've been able to make healthy, nourishing food at home,
Absolutely.
and you get excited over ingredients. I think that's
Hmm.
something that people don't like, they get nervous about because they have this obsession with like eating and with losing weight, and it's like if they shift their mindset, and like with our support, obviously it's very
Yes.
hard to do on your own, but once you are able to shift your mindset towards like, I get to nourish my body with these beautiful ingredients, I'm gonna get excited about this, I'm gonna make this like a hobby of mine, something I get to look
Mhm.
forward to, because when I do this I feel good. And so I think that shift of like, I have to lose weight, to like, I'm going to nourish my body, I'm going to eat these beautiful ingredients, it's going to taste delicious, I'm going to feel amazing after, is something that is so profound, and something that's missing from a lot of like healthy eating programs or diets in general. And I
I
think
agree.
that's something you've really been able to embody in your journey with us, is just like, you're excited. You're in the
Oh
members
yeah.
only group, pumping up other people, cooking fun things. You're exploring recipes for yourself. You're serving turkey burgers to your husband, and he's not even noticing that it's not beef. Um, Disclaimer, beef's in a lot of our recipes, or some of our
Right.
recipes, but
Yeah.
you can still totally enjoy it. But there's also different ways to like enjoy other things, which maybe is a little bit leaner, or like has a little hidden veggie in it. It's all about
Yes,
making healthy food nourishing with and palatable and delicious. So
absolutely.
I love that so much. What about the last thing I want to touch on, is just like, how is you've really been able to harness nourishing for your body, and that's helped you lose weight. How has eating for satisfaction played into this for you?
Oh, I can taste things. See, because
Yeah.
when we ate prepared food in the public, the seasoning was more what you could taste than the texture of the food, even, and especially
Mm-hmm.
fast food. Then if we
Yes.
went to a nicer place, yeah, you could taste a little more of the texture. But now it's just amazing. I mean, the different things that I've learned to do using the homemade recipes uh, to make soup that doesn't look like
Yeah.
it came out of a can,
Yeah.
and using my blender to pow down some beans, throw them back in the bean soup so that it's thicker, and
Yeah.
chop up an onion till you don't know it's an onion, and those kind of things. So we do a
I
lot of
love
that in
it.
the kitchen. Yeah, we just play and party,
I
and
love
it's
it.
all good.
And the food is super satisfying, and that's why you're
Yes.
enjoying it. Yeah.
And the
I
other big
love
thing
that.
is the freezing, caring for the food. We did one time, cautionary tale, we accidentally made ourselves sick one time because I had made some pork chops, put them in the top shelf of the freezer where I put the meat so he can see it because he's tall. And he kept pushing him back. So finally he ate them, and they had been up there too long. And I ate some, and we
Oh.
both got sick, and
Uh-uh.
you know, realize you have to put it in the freezer. You can't just,
Yes.
so that's made us back to mindfulness. That's made us more mindful. And so I'll put a
Mm,
sticker on there and we'll put the date. And then,
perfect.
you
I
know,
love that.
if you're not going to eat it tomorrow, put it in the freezer. We can thaw it. Yeah.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
that
That's
was serious too.
incredible.
Yeah, that was not a good day. So
Oh, that's so tough. Oh my goodness. I think we've all had that.
yes,
But I love that you have a little hiccup and you're like, well, let's just get back to it. Here's our plan moving
yes,
forward.
yes.
That's amazing. Well, Greta, you are so incredible. Your story is like so inspiring. I love that you have like stuck with this, right? It's not just an
Oh,
overnight thing. And something that I think you mentioned earlier, which is so important, is like, yes, you've lost 88 pounds so far here with us, but like it comes in little waves. And there are times when your pants feel a little tighter and you see the numbers
mhm.
go up on the scale a little bit. And that's not the time to be like, this isn't working. It's the
Oh,
time to
absolutely.
look at what you're doing, what you do, and say,
Yes,
how can to like fine tune this just a little bit so I get back to my healthy eating habits that have been working for me for the past couple of years. And you just
yes,
fine tune it just a little. It doesn't need to be an overhaul. It's just
yes,
a little bit. And that's exactly what gets you right back into on track
yes.
and back to where your comfort zone is. This is like something that all of us do, like as coaches in the
Mhm.
program, Anna too. Happens to all of us, right? We all
Oh, yeah.
enjoy ourselves. Like there are times when sometimes my pants are too tight and you're like, sit there and like, what have
Yeah,
I been
what's
doing?
the, yeah,
What
yeah,
have I been doing? And I realized, oh my goodness, I've been eating a lot of cookies with my daughter. And well, it's time to
yeah,
buckle that up for both of us. So I love that you mentioned that because I think it's really realistic, right? Life happens, holidays
yes.
happen, people come to visit, you go on
Yeah,
adventures, go on vacation. There's so many different things that get tossed our way, and it doesn't mean that we need to throw in the towel or that we're bad or that anything's wrong with us. It's just you're enjoying life, and you can always get back to it with your next meal.
absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah,
You guys just, I am just so grateful because had I not found you, I don't know that I'd still be here today because I wasn't changing. I
yeah.
wasn't changing.
Oh
And
my goodness.
everything was just providential. It's just like,
Yeah,
bam, there it is.
yeah.
And I never would have thought I'd join a group like this just because
Yeah.
I didn't have the time. I thought I didn't have the time to interact.
Yeah.
I'm always online, Zooming or teaching. But Lord have mercy, this has been just, it's like you're my family. You are my family.
Mm,
You
that
just
makes me
are.
so happy.
Yeah.
Well, we're so proud of you. You're incredible. Your energy in the group is awesome. You're so positive. I was looking back at some of your pictures to the past couple of years of like just like incredible, like you like totally reorganized your kitchen when you first
Yeah.
joined to make it like conducive to you cooking healthy food. And I love that you did that. You committed. You're like, no,
Yeah.
I'm doing this. And like, if I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna be cooking a lot. Let's be realistic. Like the
Hmm.
way that I'm gonna heal my body is through cooking nourishing food and eating and mindfully. And so if I'm gonna do that, I have to set myself up for success. And you did that. You I will I
Yeah.
would love to share all those pictures. We don't
Yeah.
have time right now, but I encourage
Yeah.
people to check you out on Facebook.
Check them
Look
out.
at the
Yeah.
pictures. Yeah, look at the pictures you're posting of like your kitchen looks so inviting, it's welcoming, it's useful. Everything that you need is like an arm's reach. You don't have like something like a blender, which you're going to be using every day, like up and out of the way. Like it's right
Right. It's
there.
right there. Yeah.
And so that kind of preparation, I feel like a lot of people don't necessarily think about right off the bat. They're like, well, let me just like buy ingredients. It's like, it's so much more than that. It's like
Yes.
it's making sure their kitchen is set up for success.
Yeah. Even with the smoothies, if you looked in my freezer right now, all my stuff is in there frozen, all the things I
Yeah,
use all the time.
I love
And
it.
when they start running low, you know how grocery prices go up and down. I try to
Ugh,
catch them when they're lower,
yes.
especially things that like the beets or things like that I use all the
Yeah.
time. So yeah,
Yeah. Mm.
I'm
Well, I
just
love it.
grateful. And I would have never eaten a beet that I could recognize had it not been for you guys.
You know what? That's actually pretty common.
I,
I have a lot of ladies like that are you've been with us for a year or two, and they're like, I actually like beets, and they're like, did not like them before. Like you
right.
could not have. talked me into this,
Right.
and you did. So I love that. That's incredible.
Yeah.
They're incredible for lowering blood pressure. So I'm so happy
Yeah.
that that's part of your regular routine now. It's great.
Every day, every morning. That's my
Oh,
breakfast smoothie. Yeah.
yes, you're amazing. Well, Greta, thank you so much for your time and energy. I'm so
Thank
grateful for
you.
you. And we are at the end of our sweet little interview.
Well, I appreciate you so much.
Oh, I appreciate you, Greta.
Thank you.